Oh, really? Really? Is it that hard? Is it that hard already this morning? Time for another day. Another beautiful day. Even though you don't want to, we're going to have to. That's all there is to it. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Want to be mine? Good to be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Good morning, neighbors. How are you this morning? It's a beautiful day in northwest Oklahoma. Good Lord up above has blessed us with another beautiful morning. Another beautiful day. I'll let old Mick here eat his breakfast. He's all dressed up now and ready to go to work. So I figured we'd let him eat his breakfast. Say good morning, Mick. Watch out. Watch out. Mick's having his breakfast. And it's time for me to go fix myself some. Because these long days like this can sure... we don't get lunch. So I gotta give me something to eat for breakfast. There's plenty of coffee. And go from there. But as you guys can see, y'all see that right there? The sun's coming up. I'm gonna try to walk down here if I can keep signal and look through the trees and show you guys what I see every morning. Because it's beautiful. It is. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's beautiful. Well, there's a good picture of it. Sun is coming up. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. See if I can hold that up there some. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. But first things first. Since the sun's coming up, I already went out and put this thing up. So let's go start the day off right. And then I'm going to go in and cook myself some breakfast. guys can join me and start the day off right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us. We want to thank you for all the things that you've done for us in our life and help us go from moment to moment, day to day, and year to year. Heavenly Father, we ask that you guide us, protect us, keep your loving arms around us at all times. We ask that you watch over us as we're at work, while we're driving down the road, while we're dealing with people. Sometimes that can be pretty difficult, Lord Jesus. We ask that you take our burdens off of us. We ask that you lighten our load as we turn our lives over to you and we start a brand new day with the sun coming up and the fresh air in the morning. We ask that you help us with our steps as we walk daily in your light. We ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ's loving name. Amen. That's a good way to start the day, I think. But maybe that's just me. I'm a little biased. You know, what can I say? You know, I like starting the day like that. I really do. So, to me, there's nothing better. There's nothing better at all. But it's a beautiful day. We got things to do, places to go, and we're going to go from there. You know, what else can we do? I'm going to go in here. You can see I already got my cast irons out because I'm hungry. So, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to be just a little rude and cook my breakfast while we socialize. But I'm going to go get my goggles so I can see something because I'm blind without them. And where is my coffee cup? There it is. It's already there. You know, morning, Danielle. How are you doing this morning? Donald Parker, how are you? Brenda, how's it going? Don Crawford, how are you this morning? Bobby, how's it going? How's it going, everybody? Happy, let me try to do this. Yeah, there we go. Happy Friday morning. It's a beautiful day here in northwest Oklahoma. It's one of those days where you just feel awesome. You feel awesome. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fix cowboy food this morning. Ballpark Franks. Ballpark Franks. Plus eggs. Let's see here. Plus, I did have, where the hell's that other half? I did have another little half of a pepper. Those are full. Those are full ones. Oh heck, I had a half of a pepper cut up, but I must have ate it. That's alright, I must have ate it. But you know, this is just a real quick cowboy breakfast, is all it is. And I'm not going to use my pocket knife. I love cast irons. For the simple fact is, to me, it's the best way to cook. It really is. But I want to visit with you guys this morning as I'm doing this, if that's okay. I'm seeing a deal. Have you noticed how the left now is going to try to use the wall as something to use against our president for his re-election campaign? Morning, Gene. How you doing this morning? Have you guys noticed that? Have you noticed how the left is going to now say that the president has stolen money illegally from the Pentagon to build the wall? Have you guys seen that? You guys heard about that? But you know, there's one thing that everybody forgets about. Even Judge Napolitano from Fox News, he forgets about this too. Okay, I got some hot dogs cut up. Judge Napolitano forgets one thing also. And maybe it's just me, but get out of the way. Get out of the way. Does everybody remember when our president signed the omnibus bill? You guys remember that? Remember about the omnibus bill? Do you guys remember when the president said, I want a budget? So they came up with an omnibus bill. And he said, I will never sign another omnibus bill. And do you know why? This is critical thinking time. Too early in the morning, I know. But do you know why? I like to throw some onion powder in here. Of course, some cayenne pepper. Gotta have some cayenne in here. Now, if you guys remember garlic, the reason why he said this will be the only omnibus bill he'll sign is because they could not come up with a regular budget for America. And with that being said, the omnibus bill, according to the law, gives the President of the United States discretionary purpose on where the money's spent for an omnibus bill. Now, the question is this. Was the President of the United States unconstitutionally, my dog loves eggshells. He does. He loves eggshells, so I give him all the eggshells he wants to eat. But our president, here's the question. Is our president unconstitutional by the Department of Defense giving money for the border wall? Is that unconstitutional? Judge Napolitano says it is. Now, there's a new deal come out from MSNBC that also states that there's a lot of states in the United States that are hurting because the defense budget was quote unquote cut and slashed because of the Defense Department putting the border up. We're talking about Oklahoma, Washington State, Oregon State, California. Let's see, Utah. Where else was it? New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, North South Carolina, Florida, Georgia. Places like that are hurting military-wise because the Department of Defense says we have this surplus money, let's put it into the wall. Well, you got to remember back to the omnibus bill that the president signed, okay? The president signed that omnibus bill. Where was most of the money going to? Most of that money was going to the military. most of the budget, I'd say well over 80% of the budget, went to the United States military. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. And it's discretionary where the Department of the Defense decides to spend their budget. Now, MSNBC and Judge Napolitano says that only Congress can dictate where the budget is spent. That's it. That is not true. That is not true. Because Congress is a judicial. They're legislative. They are not financial. Do we have a financial branch in the United States government? Is it the House? Is it the Senate? Who is it? We have the Supreme Court, but that's justice. We have legislative. We have executive. Well, wait a minute. Who's financial? Who's financial? Who's the ones that say where money can be spent? That's the question I have. So the Democrats are going to try to use the border wall in this election and say that the president violated the Constitution, violated his oath of office by using funds for our military. And I even read another deal this morning that says that with the Department of Defense using those funds to build the border wall has weakened our military. When Obama was in office, how weak did our military get? That's a question for you. Oh, Jeff. Exactly. Now, the United States military, Jeff, here's a question. United States military, what is their one purpose? To protect this country. Right? Just like the National Guard, the reserves, and everybody else. To protect and defend this country from foreign and domestic terrorists. That's the oath that we took when you joined the military. But see, how much did Obama try to shut our military down? How much did all of these Democrats not want to support our military? Like Pelosi, not wanting to sign all the bills for the veterans so we get better services. How often or how many times have every Democrat out there done everything they can to screw over the vets of this country? But yet they said they're trying to make this country better. But ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you right now, you mark my words on it, they are going to use this border wall against the president more than you can imagine. They are also going to try to do everything they can to harm the military. Now, one thing you guys got to understand. If and when another Democrat gets into office of POTUS, I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to try to do this. Well, they're going to do everything they can to tear that border down. I really do. I really think that if we get a Democrat in office, they're either going to try to tear the border down, or they're going to chain those gates open so anybody and everybody can just come through. That's just my feeling. That's just my thinking on it. You know, boy, don't that look good? Hot dogs and scrambled eggs. Now that is bunkhouse food. That is the cat's meow right there. Really is. I'll be right back. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, give me just 1 second. Fix it be right there. But, you know, part of my questioning all this is this, too. We know they can't beat the president at all. And hell, they're even bringing something up about how a couple years ago, before he even ran for office, he filed to get a loan to build another Trump Tower somewhere. Well, now they're going after him for that. So, they can't beat our president. They can't beat him in any way, shape, or form. They can't go against him on everything he's done as far as making things right for this country. I love these red Solo cups. Less dishes to do. They can't beat our president, what he's done financially for this country. They can't. They can't beat him. I love this orange juice because it's got lots and lots of pulp. I love it. You know, they can't beat our president. They can't. They can't beat him on anything he has done. But they keep saying this China trade deal is bad. How? How is it bad? How is the tariffs bad? Our president is the only president that's gone after China to try to get them to quit screwing us over. In all honesty. They are. They are. They are the only ones. He is the only one to do that. So, it makes you wonder, don't it? It does me. It makes me wonder just what they're contemplating, what they're doing. I don't understand it. The trade deal, the tariffs, are actually better than what people thought they were. They are. They're a lot better. I mean, look at what he's done with Mexico. Look at what he's done with Canada. Look at what he's done with Japan. Look at what he's done with the EU. He's making everybody stand up and pay attention that we are not your bank anymore. You're not going to keep robbing us without paying your fair share. And they can't beat him on that. They can't. The Democrats are so used to just giving everybody what they want. Because they think, well, if we just give them what they want, then we won't have any confrontations. We won't be considered the bad guy. But we'll just keep selling out the United States. For the simple fact is because we can. But being a representative of the United States, we're going to get rich. Because we don't care about the little man. We don't give a damn about the little man. Because they're just workers. They're the ones that we make go to get a job. And we're going to steal from them. Through the bank system. Through the real estate markets. Through the tax system. We're going to steal from them. We're going to keep them in debt. while we could keep putting money in our bank accounts. But you know, have you noticed something though since President Trump's been in office? There's one thing the Democrats haven't done as of yet. Since President Trump has been in office, they have not said we need a pay increase. Have you realized that? But they've done it when Clinton was in office. They did it when Bush was in office. They did it when Carter was in office. They did it when Obama was in office. They kept coming out, well, we need a pay increase because we can't afford to live on $174,000 a year. We need a pay increase because we're having to work too many hours and trying to legislate this country. But they haven't done that since President Trump's been president. Have you guys realized that? Because you got a man giving his wages away. He's donating his wages. You got a man who's doing everything he can to prove he is a man of his word. So what's left? What's left for the Democrats since they can't beat our president financially? They can't beat him intelligence-wise. They can't change all the good that he has done. So they're going to use the border wall. Morning, Carolyn. Morning, Bree. They're going to use the border. Trust me, they will use the border. And they're still trying to use the firearms deal. We're going to make it mandatory we do a government buyback of all assault rifles. What is an assault rifle? I've personally never seen an assault rifle. I know that terminology never existed until the United States of America government corporation started using that. Now, the terminology for assault been used on anything. A hammer, a knife, this fork. I'm going to assault you with my fork. But see, they like bringing up a terminology, so they're going to use that against our president. They're going to use firearms against our president. They're going to use the border against our president. But yet, all of it, ladies and gentlemen, all of it is BS. It really is. It's BS. So I was outside, as you guys seen, I was outside settling Mick up. Said the pledge. The prayer to start the day. And I read that stuff on the internet this morning when I got up at 5 o'clock. They're going to start really hammering on this border. Hide and watch. Saying that the president has no authority to take money from the Department of Defense because now it is hurting 30-something states to take money from the Department of Defense. And it says it's hurting states like Virginia, North South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Maryland, Minnesota, Washington State, Oregon, Utah, Texas, Oklahoma. How is it hurting those states that the Department of Defense actually spent money on securing the border of this country, which is their job? That is the Department of Defense's #1 priority, is to defend this republic from terrorists, foreign and domestic. But yet now they're going to twist that around and say, well, it's not the military's job to protect the border. Yeah, it is. I guarantee you go to any other country, and I guarantee you they got military on their borders. I guarantee you that. I've been to several countries in my lifetime. Let's just take Spain for one. When I was in the military, we flew into Spain. Guess what? There's military at Spain airport when we flew in. So, you know, you guys are a bunch of clowns. You really are. You like to spout stuff. And here's the worst part is we got people like Judge Napolitano who's saying it's unconstitutional that Trump's wall is being used by being built with the money from the Department of Defense. Come on, folks. You're smarter than that. I'm smarter than that. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. But here again, the Democrats are going to do what they do best. They're going to try to convince us. They're going to do everything they can to try to convince us that what we know is wrong and what they know is right. It's up to you whether you're going to believe it or not. It really is. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. As you guys seen, the sun's coming up. I don't have a college education. I started to go to college, but I had to drop out because I could not pass the core requirements. So I have an educational school of hard knocks. But you will never, ever, ever see the Democrats stop all the benefits for the illegals. You will never see the Democrats stop trying to give everybody else what we as residents of this great country should have. But yet they want to take them away from us. These red flag laws that they're trying to come up with to harm legal owners of firearms. Okay, here's the question for you. If they take all the firearms away from us legal owners of firearms, if they achieve that, who's going to own all the firearms? The illegals and the criminals. Then what? I have not yet heard a Democrat saying we have to go after the criminals for all the firearms. I would love to see Chicago. I would love to see a task force go in there and completely go after every criminal there is. I mean, over Labor Day, there was what, 25 more killings in Chicago? Do you think those illegals actually abide by the laws and all the fake laws that you have instilled? And Chicago is one of those places that has the strictest firearm laws there is. So I'm not understanding it. I'm not. I'm not understanding it at all. You know, we got people on here whose spouses are law enforcement or retired law enforcement. Excuse me. Excuse me. And I guarantee you what, those people that are retired law enforcement or still in law enforcement will tell you that most criminals have more damn weapons than the law enforcement does. That ain't right. But I don't see the United States of America Corporation doing anything to stop it. Doing anything to deter that at all. Do you guys remember the movies RoboCop? the police departments already, or the United States government is already trying to come up with robotic police officers now to keep officers from getting in harm's way. But does that mean that they're going to get the firearms and the weapons away from the criminals? Oh, hell no. Hell no. But you, and you. All somebody has to do is call in and say, that's a mean person there. I don't trust him. I think that person might hurt somebody. And next thing you know, you're getting a knock at your door saying, we need your firearms because you have been deemed a bad person. You have been deemed a mean person. You have been deemed a person that will probably hurt somebody. Breakfast was good. Scrambled eggs and hot dogs. I love bunkhouse food. You know, but when you're single, what can you say? You got to eat the best way you can. I don't go out to eat, so I cook what I got. And all this pulp and this orange juice, there ain't nothing better other than coffee. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be several things we need to watch. Of course, we know we're going to have to watch the firearm deal, these fake laws, the red flag laws. We're going to have to watch the border because that will be coming up hot and heavy. They're biding their time. They're putting out these articles, though, already about it and how they're going to go after him because they're saying it's unconstitutional by taking money from the Department of Defense. So we have that to look at. That's going to be coming up. Trust me, it is. Plus, they're already going after our president because of a loan that he was trying to take out a couple of years before he ran for president of the United States to build another Trump Tower somewhere. They can't beat this man on anything he's done. They can't. But you know what? There's some things coming down the pike on our end that will help him. And we need to get it done before a Democrat takes over the office of President of the United States. What's that, Gene? Someday when this people come curling out of Chicago, I want to be able to protect myself. Exactly. Exactly. Now, I watched Chad Prather last night talk about Second Amendment, talk about our rights to have firearms, talking about our rights to defend ourselves. And I agree with everything he said. And we do. But the Democrats, just as soon as we get a Democrat president, they're going to do anything and everything they can to repeal Second Amendment and put in their own ruling that's going to keep us from having firearms. The legal people, not the criminals. They want the criminals. They have firearms. But they don't want us to have them. So it makes you wonder. It really does. It makes you wonder. You sit here and you think about the upcoming election. You think about the stuff they're going to start hitting him with. Are they going to go after him some more about his tweets? Are they going to go after some more about what? They can't go after him for the unemployment. They can't go after him because our budget is actually getting better, even though we're still in debt. And we will be in debt until we RV. Revalue the currency. We're going to be in debt until every single person is sovereign and becomes a creditor. we're going to be in debt for many, many, many years. Unless some pretty important things happen. So, but the Democrats are the one that keep us in debt while they're getting richer. How about this? How about we start trying to figure out how we can get all of them people audited? How can we have the IRS, since they're the almighty entity as far as taxes go after our politicians and say, we need to audit your tax records? Because I just don't see how they become multi-millionaires doing the work they do. Working, 36 weeks out of the year? Making $174,000 to start with? How can they become multi-millionaires? I do not understand that. So let's have them all audited, Republicans and Democrats. Because you know what? There's Republicans become millionaires too by being in office. You don't believe me? Look at Mitch McConnell. You don't believe me? Look at Paul Wright. Look at John Boehner. They become millionaires. So figure that one out. But anyway, that is my consensus on things today. It really is. Love my coffee. Give me a second. Give me a second. Watch out. Watch out. Close these up because it's going to get 100 degrees in here today. Again. Yeah, look what Marita sent me. Spam. Oh yeah, lots of spam. Oh, ghost. All right, folks. Well, it's time for me to boogie on down the road. Come on, ghost. Come on. It's time to call it good for the day. Get out there. Oh, I tell you what, this is beautiful. This is beautiful this morning. It is. It's nice and still. Good morning, Easter. How you doing this morning? It is beautiful out here. You know, I think it's coming up just a little bit, Gene. I don't know. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing, Mick? I think the market is going to come up just a little bit. At least I hope it does. Because I think, hey Gene, did you hear where Did you hear, Gene, where they're actually killing more cattle than what they thought they would? Did you hear how they said that with the Tyson plant, the production rate for processing cattle is going to go way down? But at the same time, it's actually gotten better. They've actually been able to process more cattle than what they thought. like almost double the numbers. Did you hear that part, Gene?
On basketball very well, and
so the question I have is this: why is all of our markets so damn cheap right now? But guys, it's that time of day. It's going to be hot. It's going to be 100 degrees here. Well, we got a job to do, so we're going to go do it. I want to thank you for spending this little bit of time with us this morning. And you guys have a beautiful day. God bless each and every one of you in your day. I hope things go right for you. I hope everything goes your way today. So, God bless you. God bless the Republic of the United States. And just remember one thing. You sit on a wooden fence too long, you're going to get splinters in your butt. To get your ass up, get off the fence. It's not that hard. Put your feet down, go forward. Never ever go backwards. And once you go forward, you're going to go down the path of righteousness, and you're going to go down the path of truth. So, love you guys. Y'all have a great day. Take care. We'll see y'all later. Bye.